Yes, yes, yes. We are live. It is Sunday. And we're loud. July 26th. We're in the house. This is Sunday Sounds. It's been a little while since I hosted a Sunday Sounds, but I'm excited. I got a really, really incredible member and producer here. My man, Manny Manhattan. How's it going, brother?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for inviting me on to this. And I'm excited.
Hell,
Excited.
hell yeah, man. We're excited to have you here. It's been an interesting year for you, would you say?
Interesting. It's been an interesting year. I can't it's been better than I could have ever wished for, expected, or hoped for and all that.
We're gonna get into that too. So yeah, me and Manny were talking right before the show. Got to talk to him a little bit. Very humble guy, I can tell. Just likes to make music and just can tell he's not a super big talker like I am. So it's all good. We're gonna get some information out of him today once we go over some accolades and stuff that he's been working on. But yeah, for everybody just tuning in, I see a lot of people joining the chats now. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody is well. This is Sunday Sound. As you know, we talked to a different member from the community about how they got their start, kind of what they do on a daily basis to promote their account, things they're working on. We're just trying to get some jewels out of them, you know what I mean? Trying to break down what they're doing to be successful. And if it's your first time ever tuning in to the show, we do this bi-weekly, I believe, every other Sunday. So glad to have everybody here. But yeah, like I said, we got Manny Manhattan in the building. I'm not gonna lie, Manny. 6 months ago, I didn't know who you were. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, but I didn't know who you were.
Right.
You came out of nowhere, in my opinion. The two people that stuck out to me the most that came out of nowhere, there's technically not nowhere because I know you've been working, but you and Ann Chamberlain, you guys have both amazed me in the last year. Both you guys are just killing it. I got to give all credit to one of our A&Rs, Cammie, who actually put me on to you. She sent me your link and said, "Dude, you got to check this dude out." I said, "Okay." I checked it out.
Shout out Cammie.
Yeah, I mean, really, Cammie deserves all the credit, and I'm not going to try to steal her shine, but yeah, she's got a great ear. But yeah, talk to the people. Where are you from, first of all? Where were you born, and where are you at now, if not the same place?
For sure. I was born in Nigeria. I left Nigeria when I was about 8 years old. Uh, Lived a few different places. I'd say I grew up in the Netherlands because of my dad's work. So we lived there. Whole family lived there for a bit, and then now I live in Canada. I live in Calgary. The name of the city is Calgary, Alberta. Most people don't know where that is, but yeah, it's Calgary. Yeah, it's Calgary's home now. I live in Calgary. Spent a lot of time in Houston as well. I got family down there. Yeah, and that's how we ended up here today.
How's the music scene up in Calgary, Alberta?
It's growing. It's definitely growing. Like I've been here for about 10 years now, and I could say that it's like the hip hop scene specifically is definitely, I've seen it grow like in the last 10 years I've been here. But it's still very small. There's not really that much going on, no disrespect to anyone, but it's growing. It's a medium-sized city. It's not like Toronto or Vancouver or anything like that. But yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? Like who knows what it could be tomorrow and a year from now, 5 years from now, right?
Yeah, it's the power. It's the power of the internet. Like you really have the power to do whatever you want. I actually get this question a lot. People are like, every time I talk to people, you even actually did it to me before the show. You're like, "Where you at, LA?" I'm like, "Nah." Like, people are always like, you've got, how long you been in the industry, Mike? Oh, 15, 16 years, full time. I'm talking about no other job but music. The music industry paid me for that long. Okay, so where you got to live? You live in New York? You live in LA? Nope.
Yeah,
I tell them where I live. Like, I live in a town that's so small, like you wouldn't even know. But I chose that because I like the peace and quiet. But the thing is, like, you can't put limitations on, how you get to where you need to get. You need to just do it and find a way. And I think
definitely,
people put roadblocks in front of them. So it's really cool to see that you're from a city that's not, a Toronto and New York and LA and Atlanta, et cetera. And you're still getting it. And we're going to get into how you're getting it. Until I get some background information. So we know where you're from. How long you been making music for?
A long time, really. Probably like I started when I was in high school, or yeah, high school or whatever year Soldier Boy made Crack That Soldier Boy. Like I read on Wikipedia that he made it on a program called FL Studio, downloaded it that day, and started to make like Crack That, bad renditions of Crack That Soldier Boy. That's where I started. And then, yeah, I just worked on it since then, really. Uh, but at the same time, it was a hobby. I did it like high school, and then I went to college. Life gets in the way. You just like you drop it basically. So like 5, 6 years, I really wasn't making beats or doing anything. Just I was in school, got out of school, started working, and then yeah, you don't have any time to, or it's hard to find time to make beats when you're doing all that. But then like 2 years ago, I lost my job, and then I was just sitting at home like, all right, shit, what am I gonna do next?
Mhm.
And then I said, oh man, when I was 17, I used to know how to make these beats. And I see people posting them on like online, and I'm like, like my delusional self, I'm like, yo, I can make beats as good as Cash Money AP, or obviously not, but like, yeah. So I just picked it up again 2 years ago. And yeah, that's kind of where we are now. So really, my point is, sometimes I tell people 2 years, and they're like, oh my God, how'd you do this in 2 years? But in reality, it was like, 3, 4 years, or even throughout the whole time, just like dabbling in it and just doing it for fun. I never really did anything with the beats. I made hundreds of beats that no one would ever hear. Like,
Yeah.
they're just sitting on a hard drive somewhere, or probably deleted. So yeah, but a long time, a really long time, but seriously, like actually taking it serious for like 2 years. Yeah, it's kind of
Which,
a long-winded answer, but
yeah, but listen, 2 years is a decent amount of time. I actually tell people when they join, this is a minimum 2 year plan, because I feel like you really can't gauge the amount of work you put in and gathered enough information from your customers and build up a real marketing strategy and things like that without like 2 years of time. I think that's a good time to really, really take a look and see what you're working on and where you've progressed from. And
right.
that's why you need small goals, because if you're just going, 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 and 2 years later you look back, you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. You got to be able to reach certain points over that time. So
Definitely.
2 years is a decent amount of time. And that's why I said you came out of nowhere. And I didn't mean that like negatively at all. I meant it
Right.
positively for
No,
sure. But I knew you had some, I've never talked to you either, but I knew you had some type of background in
yeah.
music and in some type of, putting work in. And the point of what I'm trying to prove is that, like people just aren't, hey, I'm going to be a producer and upload beats tomorrow, and now I'm rich. Like, no, that's not how it works.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Not how it works
Yeah.
at all. So you've
Yeah.
been doing this for a long time, on and off, but then 2 years seriously, up until 6 months ago. Like I said, I wasn't aware of who you were. Like I said, Cammy showed me your stuff. I was blown away by 12 a.m. in London. We'll play that a little later on. So my first thing, I was like, oh, this dude's got to be from New York, and you're not. So where did the Manny Manhattan name come from?
Yeah. The 9 out of 10 people I talk to are like, or one dude that's so funny. He texted me and he's like, yo, I'm in your city. I just came to your city to work. I'm like, what city? He's like, yeah, he thought I was in New York. Like 9 out of 10 people think I'm from New York or in New York, but
Yeah.
I'm in Canada. I'm in Calgary. So the name, it really isn't deep. It just, it sounds cool. When I was in college, just over some beers and my buddy, and uh, we liked, and we still do like gangster movies, like Italian, like Goodfellas, Godfather,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
Casino, all that. And it was supposed to be like that. Like this is before I wasn't even I knew how to make beats, but I don't think he even knew I made music,
Yeah.
right? But we just give each other like funny like nicknames are supposed to sound like Italian, like gangsters, like something out of like Goodfellas or something like that, right? And he said like Manhattan Manny, and I was like, holy shit, that sounds cool as fuck. Like, that's what I'm gonna roll with, and
It
yeah,
does.
that's really where it came from. It's just because it sounds cool, and I don't even know if it's alliteration, but it sounds cool, so I just went with it. You know, I'm not from New York. I think I have cousins in Jersey, but that's about it. You know, but yeah, it's funny. It's funny how everyone thinks I'm from New York, and
It's not
it's
a
Manny Manhattan sounds a lot cooler than Manny Calgary. So yeah, I went with
no.
that.
I love it, man. I think it's a really cool name. It's double M, Manny Manhattan. It kind of just
Yeah,
like the abbreviation sticks out to me. The full name sticks out to me. I like it. I think it's a dope name, and there's nothing wrong with people thinking you're from New York. You know, it just maybe
yeah,
gives you some type of edge when
it
people
does.
see your name.
It does. I think initially they reach out thinking I'm in New York, or like
Yeah,
yeah, but you know, I'm in Calgary. Like yeah,
it's
but yeah,
crazy.
it's kind of funny. I
It is
like it.
fun.
It's cool. I like it. It sounds like a gangster. It sounds like a name that could be out of Goodfellas, you know. So I just went with it. And I always find it funny how it was never even like a music name or anything like that, and I just like went with
Doesn't
it.
have to be. No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Listen, man, I think it's great branding. I think what you did with it was,
yeah.
you kind of stumbled upon it based on the story you just told, but I think what you've done with it since then has been really dope. And just
Right.
the branding from the color schemes and the artwork and stuff you use, and even like your music overall, I think it all just
Thank
ties
you.
together. Incredible
Appreciate
job.
it.
And if you love gangster movies, man, I don't know if you saw the new Netflix documentary called Fear City. Check.
No, I haven't
I,
seen it.
I think it just came on because I'm on like episode 4, but basically it's about all the 5 New York mafia crime families. So really,
Definitely.
really dope to watch, and honestly inspirational
Yeah,
from some of the music they have in there, and just some of like how they talk, and just it's insane.
I'm
But
definitely gonna watch that. Yeah.
check that out. But that's a little gem I just remember because I just started watching it too. But all right, cool. So we kind of got your backstory, we got your name, we found out where you're from, how long you've been making beats. So how long has it been? Has it been exactly 2 years since you got on BeatStars, or just
Um.
Twitter,
Yeah,
or
probably it's gonna be September, November is when I like 2 years. Yeah, in September, no, October. What am I saying? Like somewhere around then, it will be 2 years I've been on BeatStars. But I think when we initially spoke, I told you the story, but I was um I just again I didn't really know anything about selling beats. I didn't know like any. I just knew I knew how to make beats, so I was like, all right, let me try this. And then I saw this BeatStars thing, and
mm-hmm.
then I made like the free. I made the free account. I think it lets you upload like 10 beats,
Yep.
you know, and I just like let it sit there. And really, I think I sold like one beat on it, like for $20 or something. But I was like, oh my god, yes. But I still didn't like feel like I could do like the $20 a month or whatever the subscription is,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, shit, I don't know if I'm ever gonna sell a beat or sell another one or. And then yeah, for like a year and a half plus, I just had that, and then I even stopped using BeatStars and just started like using like PayPal and email, um, and just doing it that way. Um, uh, and then and then it's not even that I wanted to start BeatStars or I felt like, all right, I should start like using BeatStars again. But it's like one guy said, and he said, yeah, no way. He said he's been ripped off of PayPal before or something like that. He has to, every other thing he's bought is a BeatStars. I'm like, I was telling him like, yo, man, I don't know if I want to pay this $20 just, just for like the monthly fee like that. But he was like adamant. He said it has to be on BeatStars. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Shout out to that guy, by the way,
Yeah,
whoever he is.
shout out to Moneybag Steve, really good guy.
Moneybag Steve, man, I got some merch for you if you're listening, brother.
Moneybag Steve, shout out. Yeah, so I just got it just for him to buy that one beat, and then I made it, and I was like, all right, whatever. For this month, I paid for the month already. Let me just start uploading everything on there, you know. And this was I don't know, like March, April, right this year, right. And ever since then, it's just been, gone crazy. Like I wish I did this, I don't know, a year ago, like um yeah, so yeah, like I don't what's the question was how long have I been on BeatStars? Again, like a long time, but only really started actually using it like
Like
for the past
when
4 months.
COVID happened, pretty much.
Yeah, when COVID happened,
So that
basically.
was what, March, April, May,
Yeah.
June, July. Yeah, like
I,
4, almost 5. So I overguessed. I said 6 months. So yeah, whenever you started getting serious, and I think COVID came, is when I found out about you. So probably the
right.
same time frame, like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. So what were you doing? I'm gonna get into 12 a.m. in London and really dive into that, but because I feel like that was really what set it off. But what were you doing up? Well, you weren't really doing much. You said up until about 5 months ago. But when you started really going ham 5 months ago, what were you doing to promote? Like, what were you doing to drive traffic to your store and just let people know, hey, I got beats. Hey, come get them from me. Hey, I got buy one get one free. Whatever you were doing, what was it? I'm sure people are curious.
It's a good question, and I know it'll seem like I'm like holding secrets or like keeping gems, but really all I was doing was like YouTube. Like I don't even use social media really. Like before I made beats, I never had an Instagram. I still rarely have an Instagram, but I don't use social media at all. I just make stuff, put it on YouTube, and yeah, that's it. YouTube, like it's like like it's been a godsend. The BeatStars has been a godsend. Like yeah, like the weird thing is, like I don't know, like this is sort of like when I was 17 was like 2000 and I don't know 13, 14 maybe. I could be way off, but I remember then like I'd make these beats, but there wasn't like anything like YouTube or there was YouTube, but like YouTube beats wasn't a thing. There was no outlet, right? Like I just made all these beats that no one will ever hear, right? And then I just saw like this YouTube thing is like, hey, look, here's this opportunity where you can, put music on the internet and even if 10 people heard it, I was like, whoa, for me, I was like, whoa, if 10 people heard it, if 100 people heard it, I was like, wow. Because again, like for so long, I went with like no one ever hearing my music or anyone ever really like telling me, yo, this is dope, so all this is like still relatively new to me. And yeah, it's just YouTube. Like all I did was upload beats every day or just about every day, make beats just about every day. Driving traffic to my I tried the thing where I message people and be like, yo, I got these beats, yo, I tried it. Yeah. I don't really do it anymore because I know 9 times out of 10 like most people don't even reply to the DMs.
Facts.
So I don't know how successful that was for me. Like so I haven't done it in probably a year plus, I did like the YouTube. I guess they got like the ads. I did that for I did that for a bit. I don't know how much it helped, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's just YouTube's algorithm. Also with like the Drake, I make a lot of different types of beats, but I only upload the Drake type beats because I think it's the YouTube algorithm and like how it recommends. Because people like the Drake ones, it's going to recommend more of the Drake ones, and so
it's a big market though, man. That Drake market is. If you ever look at the search volume for those tags and the SEO on that, you can do that with TubeBuddy, or vidIQ. Right. A lot of these things you can look into, but if you look at the search rankings on YouTube for some of these tags, dude, it's almost impossible to rank on them.
Yeah.
So, but it's like it's interesting to hear you say that's why you think it helped. It's like I feel like once I have it figured out, I don't have it figured out. It's like because I talk to so many people, man, and there's so many different stories of how people have gotten there. But you know what? There's 2 things that everybody has that are similar. All right. So the first thing is they all upload a lot of tracks. You've uploaded 161, I see. On BeatStars. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a lot more too. I just gotta find the time to put them up. But yeah, go. Sorry.
No, you're good. And I'm talking not specifically for YouTube. I'm just talking overall in general successful from what I've seen. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, man, and I know this is gonna sound really like just generic, being like, yeah, no shit, man. They're supposed to have great music, but the music is incredible. And I don't you're very welcome. But I think it's sometimes people rush the process of creation of content, and not necessarily even rush it on a time aspect, but maybe just mentally, or they're thinking ahead about this or that. I don't know, but I feel like sometimes maybe the creation aspect is really what you need to just take a step back, look in the mirror, and say, okay, I know I can do this better, and I'd rather do it better than just try to like fly to put out a track a day. Right. You got to find that kind of like that middle ground for each, because I don't know. Because everybody that is successful making sales, getting lots of streams, followers, and are on all these shows that I host are all people that have a lot of beats up and the music's great. So it's just they're the two biggest
Yeah.
factors: consistency and the quality of your content. And I think that goes for anything, not just even making beats. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, or if you feel like that's a big part of it. I mean, I'm sure you're going to say that the music's got to be great, which we agree on. But
yeah, sorry, I keep like
no, you're good. But I was going to say, but the consistency thing, man, I feel like that's one of the biggest parts.
100%. And I'd say the consistency is also like sticking with it, like, and I'm not saying this to like, downplay or discredit anyone, but like, it's like, I've talked to people who say, oh man, 6 months in, 6 months in, can you just take these beats from me and and I'll sell you these beats for your channel or whatever.
Crazy.
6 months in, I just want to give up and cash out or whatever. And I'm like, like, bro, like 6 years, no one heard anything I made. Like it's kind of this internet is a gift and a curse, because on one end we have this ability for anyone like in their bedroom to make something and put it on SoundCloud, YouTube, whatever, Spotify, whatever, to make their first song and put it out like that. We have that ability, but it's also people, I guess, have to realize that, look, the reality is your first song is probably not going to be good. Your first beat is probably not going to be good. It's not the end of the world. It's your first beat might not be good. Your fifth beat might not be good. 10th might not be good. But, and that's where I think like the passion and, love, passion, whatever you want to call it, comes in. Because like I said, if I didn't sell a single beat, I'll probably still be making beats. Like, just because I'm a fan of music, it's what I love to do, right? And I think that's kind of what what gets you over that hump when you're like trust me, like, even like I listen to sometimes the stuff I made like 2 years ago when I like first stuff I uploaded on YouTube. I thought I was as good as Cash Money AP. I thought, yo, who is this guy? No one could tell me nothing. Like, I make beats as good as him. And now I go back and I listen to the beats I made 2 years ago and I listen to what I make today, and I can hear like how much better like it got by like just working at it every day. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's Absolutely. Like, and I'm all for being like irrationally confident. Like, I'm all for it, but it's also like, now I listen to what I made 2 years ago and I think, yo, all right, yo, this wasn't it. But back then I thought it was the greatest thing. I need, everyone should give me all the money, and so it's just like working at it and just realizing that. Long-winded answer. I can't even remember the question, but it's
all good.
Like, I think we're talking about consistency and
exactly.
Yeah, consistency is one. Like, you get to a point where good and bad. I really like in music. I don't believe in good and bad generally. Like, it is what it is. I could think something's bad, someone else thinks it's great. Who's right? It is what it is. But if you are consistent, I think, in the work ethic, and you're consistent in if you really love something, you have passion for it, I mean, you're gonna do it as much as you can. That for me, that's what consistency is. Like, and then you're gonna get there, right? Like, I think just with, if you run every day, you're gonna become a better runner. Just like, even if you hate running, just off that alone, right? You're because you might not be able to run for 30 seconds the first day, but if you run every day, you're going to become, if you play basketball every day, you're going to become better at basketball. If you do just about anything every day, right? And it's just like, that's where the consistency comes from, like, in my opinion, right? It's, I don't think it's so much about like consistently making good music. Like, some of the stuff I make just sits on my computer because I don't think it's good, right? It's almost like this illusion where, I trust my ear, I trust my taste, and I trust my sound, that, I can kind of create this illusion that it seems like everything I make, is good or consistently good. In reality, it isn't. I just have a lot of shit sitting on a hard drive that isn't gonna, it's just like making a lot and doing a lot of work, and then once in a while you run into something. I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say, right?
No, listen, man, it's the processes. So I agree with everything you're saying. Sometimes when I speak consistency, it's not like every single beat you have to put out has to be the best thing in the world. I mean, you should aim for that,
Right.
obviously. But I get what you're saying musically. Sometimes you're gonna have a dud. Sometimes something you might not like might be something everyone likes. My part
Yeah.
about consistency is the processes, man. About having
It's
that work ethic of saying, okay, I know I have work and I have school and I have this, but no, I could stay up to 2 in the morning goofing around on Instagram, or I could go to bed 2
right.
hours earlier and get up 2 hours earlier and get up and put that 2 hours into the studio or into,
Right.
you know, uploading beats or whatever it is. You just have to make that time. And if you're consistent with that and then your upload schedule, you're going to get better at creating. You're going to get better at understanding how to grow your business. You're going to get better at everything. Like you said, it's like going out and running. Same thing. Anything you do with consistency, with the processes, it's going to get better and it's going to keep growing. So I agree with you 100%, bro. I think that's spot on. I think that's really what a lot of people need to focus on is the processes that go into making your overall brand consistent. So,
and not so much the result, like in business and also in music. Like I think people focus too much on like what it sounds like in the end. I really like. Good, bad is whatever, you know, what's good to you is bad to me, you know, or either way, like that doesn't matter so much.
Yep.
As much as if you like find a process that works for you and is consistent.
Yeah, and enjoy those processes too. I mean, they shouldn't be torture necessarily. Yeah, it might be a little bit of a hassle if you're adjusting things. Like you said, if I didn't run, and I don't really, and I probably should, if I started running, I'm probably going to hate that shit for like 2 weeks. But I know after a while it would develop. So it's just getting through kind of like those. As you can see, I'm standing. I don't know if you can see that, but I have a standing desk. So the first week I had the standing desk. I just stand all day. I thought my legs were going to fall off. I'm like, I'm no way I'm doing this shit.
Right.
You know, you're talking almost a year later, and I stand every day, bro. I don't sit. Like I just stand. It's definitely helped me.
You get used to it.
Yeah, you just get used to it. So that's what I'm saying. Stuff sucks in the beginning, even if you love making beats and doing all that. I get it. Like, oh, I got to hit clear and I got to do this. I got to get artwork. I understand. It's tasks. It's tasks that take up time. But once you get those processes down, they become a lot more natural and you get understandings of how to make them easier. So I know that stops a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people just say, oh, it's too much of a process to do this and do that and do this. But if you're doing it consistently, it becomes easy. So, for sure.
It becomes easy, but it's like it's more like a habit. You know, you form a habit. I think we got lag or something, but you form like a habit, right? It's like I force myself to make beats every day, good, bad, even if I put them up or not. Like I force myself to at least do something every day, at least like work on some idea every day. You know, it doesn't always come up with something. Then, you form a habit.
Exactly. Habits, man. Habits, processes turn into habits. Habits turn into consistency. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to look at it. So, all right, cool.
That's the cheat code.
Absolutely. I want to talk about 12 a.m. in London because
for sure.
Just incredible. So 12 a.m. in London is your top selling, top streaming, top everything track. To give people just some statistics on this track, you uploaded it back in September of 2019, which is almost a year ago. But I guess you just uploaded it and then kind of like walked away because you said you didn't really start going in until about 5 months ago. Is that correct? Or you don't know?
Had no traffic on, I wasn't even using my, I wasn't really using BeatStars. I don't even think I think I had the account. I didn't have like the link on my YouTube or anything. I just had PayPal. So well, you want to know how it came about? Like,
I'm going to read off some of these stats, and then we're going to talk about it. So,
all right, yeah.
120.
So the crazy thing is these stats are really since March, right? Which is a crazy thing, but I made it a year plus ago.
Got it. So 120.1 thousand streams. So pretty much 120,000 streams. 2.4 thousand likes, 71 reposts, 115 comments. Obviously, I can't read off numbers for sales, but they're ridiculous. It was sitting up in the top charts at number 1 for a few days. It's been in the top 10 or at least the top 20 for months. It's honestly one of my favorite beats that I've heard on the platform in 2020. I mean, it's just a great track. You tagged Drake, you tagged OVO, and you tagged OVO Sound. But this track, tell us too. This track was a collab, right, with Sabi Jones. Like, how did that come about, like working with him?
Big shout out Wasabi Jones. This is, I'm telling you, like a year ago, I'm still a nobody. But a year ago, I was even less than a nobody, you know. And we were like the same. Like I don't know him. I still never met him in real life. We like WhatsApp message and email and stuff. But yeah, we just you know, he's just like the typical classic, like, yo, let's collab.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a bunch of ideas. Um, yeah, and then we just that was the one. Like, I don't like, if I told you that I knew when I made it that it would do all this, I'd be lying to you, right? Um, you know, I think as usual, I was trying to make like a Drake type beat,
Mm-hmm.
and it was supposed to be like, it was like a, now I listen back to it, it was like a bad attempt at like, because I like the like beats where Drake raps for like you know, 4 minutes straight. That's my favorite version of Drake. He does a lot of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to make a bad attempt at like the, I think 4 p.m. in Calabasas type thing, but you know, and now it doesn't sound anything like it, but it was a bad attempt at it then. Um, but yeah, it just, yeah, he sent me the idea. You know, I couldn't like trace back like where anything comes from. My like process is just I throw a bunch of stuff at a wall and some, you know, hopefully something sticks, and then I just trust my ear to like know what, you know, what could work, what couldn't work, what sounds good, what might not sound as good. Um, you know, yeah, and that's where it came from. That's where it came from. Like it's surprising. Like obviously every beat I make, I wanted to do like that good and be that amazing, you know. But
Dude,
it also like,
it's rare, man. It's rare. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
yeah,
but
no, it's all
I'm
good.
telling you this right
I
now,
go on.
man. I see a lot of beats, dude. It's a rare success. Like the way it came about, too. Like it just was. You threw it up on YouTube and you put it up on the marketplace, and it just completely just it took
Yeah,
off. You know, I know we
yeah,
reposted it and we playlisted it a lot. I know that helped because I know that stuff helps.
definitely, 100%. Yeah,
But I mean, the quality, dude. Once the quality is there and you put it in front of enough people, like it's gonna catch its own fire. Which, you know, it's all organic viralness is what I call it because there's no you know, ad push to it. You know, there's no legitimate to it. I'm not talking about fake plays.
right,
I'm talking about like legitimate Instagram ads
right.
or legitimate like, you know, YouTube ads or even using the BeatStars ad platform. There was none of that to my knowledge. It was more or less you put it on YouTube. It came on the platform. Cammy was digging. She found it, showed me it. We were like, holy shit, this is crazy. We reposted it, playlisted it. And then, like, and we do that for a lot of tracks, dude. So I'm like, just to be clear, I'm talking a lot. Like, we talk weekly, daily, weekly. We're reposting and playlisting dozens of tracks. So it's not like this is something rare that we do. But once we did that and then saw kind of the success build, we're like, we came back, we're like, do you see what this track is doing? And I know Wasabi Jones is very happy. Very,
Oh
very
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
I know he's
I think
happy.
he's the only person like I collab with actually. But it's good. Yeah, yeah. No, he's a cool dude, like great dude. Yeah, we're both happy. Like when we talk about it again, like we like no idea. Even when we like, because I feel like I got better since I made that beat, but it's just my opinion. But you know, we talk about like, man, how it's mixed so terribly, you know, or how the mix is off here and there. But that's just like the producer thing, I guess. You know, we just have these things to complain about, but people love it, right? And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You know,
It's a simple
yeah,
beat, and I don't say simple as like a negative term, like simple
yeah,
and good,
we're,
like good for an artist and for a listener. Like
yeah,
my wife's heard it, and you know, my wife's not an artist, and she's like, yo, this beat is fire. I was like, I know. It just has those vibes. And we're gonna play it in a minute here, but it has those vibes. And for an artist, I could see why an artist would want to get on it because the pocket is just so easy to find your flow. Even a singer, anything you really want to put on there,
right,
it's just a
right.
very easygoing track. And then it just has it's the vibes are just crazy on it. So
Yeah,
it,
I guess yeah, that's kind of what I again like my favorite kind of Drake. Like the songs that Drake raps for 4 minutes, those beats are pretty simple,
they
right?
are.
And they're pretty simple, heavily repetitive, but and like you said, not simple in a bad way. But it's like it's simple enough, almost like house music, how it like it just keeps going,
Mm-hmm.
but it's interesting enough to like keep your ears like entertained 4 or 5 minutes, you know, like, and that's kind of the
Dude, I would love to hear
yeah,
Drake on this track, man. Like I could
I would as well.
for real hear Drake on this track. Like I feel like his style is like I hear a lot of Drake type beats and a lot of Drake inspired stuff, but like some stuff
Right.
I'm like this style, I don't even hear Drake on this. But
Yeah.
realistically, Drake could pretty much get on anything if he wanted to. But this beat, like I was just like, even before looking at the tags, like yeah, Drake could get on this, like easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that said, let's play the track, man, because we keep talking about this track. And
Sure, yeah.
people haven't heard it. They're probably like, well, what are you guys talking about? All right,
Run
cool.
it.
So I'm going to play this. When I play the audio, just mute your microphone, please, sir.
For sure. I'll mute it right now.
Cool. All right. You can see my screen, though? We're good to go? Thumbs up? All right, cool. All right, guys, we're about to play 12 a.m. in London by Manny Manhattan. Like you said, 120,000 streams, 2.4 likes, 71 reposts, 115 comments. Just so you can see his price points for his leases: 35 for MP3, 50 for Wave, 100 for stems, 200 for unlimited exclusive make an offer. Love this setup. This is my recommendation to everybody: 4 different licenses with exclusive make an offer. I think that's the best. But yeah, really dope track. We're gonna play this, so we'll play like all right, is it playing right now? Actually, hold on. All right, so we'll play like I don't know how long it is, but we'll play at least like more than half of it. So right, let's get into this.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
Yeah, man, crazy track. You can unmute yourself too, just so you don't forget. But yeah, you guys can see. I can see the comments coming in. I hear what you're saying, Mike. The space in the pocket are great for vocals. The slaps, Fuego. This is dope. Like it's just a really cool track. Like it just has those vibes to it. I could hear numerous artists, specifically Drake, on it, and I think that's why it's been such a big seller. And it's been one of the biggest tracks of 2020 from a streaming perspective, sale perspective, and stuff like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. And I know it's helped. I know it's helped definitely spark other beats sales and other like traffic to your store, which is really cool, man. It just takes one. It just takes one. I think you just keep making the stuff you love making, putting your passion in it, going back to the consistency part and getting your processes down and just having fun. A lot of people forget about the fun aspect. You gotta have fun when you're making your music.
Yeah.
And just let it go,
Yeah, I can't stress enough or how weird it is that this was made a year ago, put it up, maybe you got 100, 200 views on YouTube or whatever, and then it was just sitting there for like a year and then only caught fire like a year later. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I'm very confident that I have like another one of those like that I make like today and it's gonna catch fire a year later, like type of thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah,
Absolutely, man. I saw somebody asking too. I think it was Bufo. Shout out to Bufo in the chat. He was saying, "Hey, did you start with these prices?" Because right off the bat, I can see that all your newer, not newer, but other beats. I think they're newer actually. Are 25. It looks like the price point starts, but and your other one is 35. Is that something you did when sales started coming in, just to make a little bit more income, or is just something you had already set?
It is it is because I split it 50-50 with Wasabi Jones. So it's so I don't mind if we split $50 50-50, but if we split like $12 or $25 50-50, it's so that's the only reason really for those ones, like the ones I collab on. I just I don't know, it's kind of
no, man, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, collab.
I still think 35 is a cheap, a decent price point, cheap price point. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If I had something that was selling like that, I wouldn't price gouge and be like 100 for an MP3, but I would definitely up my prices if I can get the price for that piece of content or that service or whatever it is you're providing. Like, why not? You know what I mean? If people are going to pay for it, they should. So
that's what it's there for, right? It's I'm not trying to get all the money in the world. It's a cheap option for that's what it is supposed to be. It's a cheap option so someone can get the beat for cheap. That's kind of all
exactly.
That's what it's there for, right?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I don't see anything wrong with it. I was just curious, if you did it beforehand, afterhand, and stuff like that. But
no, I did it after. I think it was $25 before, but I just all the ones I collab with, I upped them to 35, 50, and like that.
Got it. Good to know, man. Let's play this.
It's random, but it was an idea I tried and just whatever.
Hey, dude, it works, man.
There's not a lot of thought behind it, but yeah.
I hear you, dude. Another track that I've really gotten hip to of yours lately is 10K.
Okay.
I want to play that next real quick and play like half of it. But this is another, as you can see, all your beats are Drake, OVO. But this one was kind of cool. But you can even see the difference, man. Like, actually, let's go to your profile real quick. I want to actually look at something really fast. So, on the marketplace, you can go to someone's profile. You can go to their tracks. And this is front facing. This is not like anything secret.
Hey, Mike, I'm trying to get verified. How do I?
Oh man, he really asked me that live on air. Wait, what? I'm getting some interference here. Can you repeat? What?
We'll talk about it later. My bad.
Oh, you're good, man. But no, you can. So there's a menu here, guys, on the marketplace where you can go down and hit top selling, and then you can actually see what the top selling track is. Obviously 12 a.m. is first. But you can even see like the difference in plays, 120 to 17, 12, 7, 8. And then there's also a drop down too. And this is something I think every member should be doing. Go to the top charts or go to producers that you like. Doesn't even have to be the top charts. And go and just see like what their top tracks are sales wise, see what their top tracks are stream wise, and just get an idea like, oh, okay, I can see why people would like this and like that. I think market research is a really big part of it too. And it's not the jack people stuff. It's just really just to see who's doing what and how the market's moving. But yeah, I just wanted to look at that real quick. I thought that was interesting that you have that's dude, 120 to 17. That's insanity. Over 100,000 more streams on one track. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. All right, let's play 10K. Just mute yourself when I play this.
For sure.
Check this out.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
Bro. That is an anthem. That is an anthem right there, man. That
Thank you.
Bufo in the chat said that sounds like something he could hear at like a football game or like a commercial for like a truck or something.
Definitely.
That's dope, though, man. That's dope.
That one. There's I put that one up the day I hit 10,000 subs on YouTube. Few beats I make with like an idea in mind before I open FL Studio, but it's kind of corny. But I was like, yo, for me, it's a huge accomplishment. Like I would have never imagined, like that 10,000 subs. So I was just like, I was trying to make something like triumphant and like specifically for the 10,000 subs, just to I guess mark that moment, like because it might be corny to other people, but to me it meant a lot. Like it was like it still blows me away. Like like this dude in Calgary, Alberta, that no one's ever heard of. Like how who the hell am I? Like.
Dude, that's the beautiful thing about BeatStars in general, but overall just music in this year of 2020 and moving forward is it doesn't matter where you're from. Like there's so many ways to get your stuff out there. And with COVID, like not to be Debbie Downer or anything, but I mean like with COVID, it doesn't even matter because you can't go meet anybody. You can't go in sessions for the most part in most places. You can't be around multiple people. You can't go to meetings at labels. You can't do a lot of stuff that why you move to a big city like New York or LA for the music industry. So I just think that's how we need to look at it is, don't stop looking at the roadblocks and just look at how you find that path to success. And I salute you, man, for sticking with it and doing it because not a lot of people will stick with it. That's the problem. People just give up because they don't see instant success. So just salute to you, man. I wanted to say that. Thank you for just, putting in the work. And we notice it. You're putting in the work. And you're taking advice and you're doing these things. Like we see it all, and that's what we do this for at the end of the day. Me personally, I'm speaking personally myself, but
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hell yeah, man. Did you want to talk about the Sony situation at all, or what about that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not a lot going on right now, anyway. But yeah, it was a good opportunity. Like I think what's his? I'm gonna mess his name up.
Greg.
Yeah. Greg, spoke to him. He gave me all the details. Yeah, like this kind of stuff still blows me away. Like the fact that people are interested in what I make still blows me away. The fact people want to like give me opportunities or work with me on anything like still blows me away. And then I just like what better opportunity is there to like have like BeatStars / Sony ATV doing like your publishing administration, right? Like like who would have thought like that Sony would want to do anything for me or anything like that. So it's dope. I think we really just started. My fault. Like I took a while with like
you're
looking
good.
over the contract and like signing it. So
as you should look over, read your contract before you sign anything. I work here, and I'll tell you that. Like anybody's trying to get you to sign something without looking at it, like don't do it. You guys got to review stuff and take your time. So no hard feelings on that, brother.
Yeah, because we really just started. It's a great opportunity. I have no complaints, like nothing, about it. It's just, you still gotta like put in the work, and we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all trying to make hit records, and get like one of those, So if tomorrow I get one of them, at least I know I have, the support in place to go and collect those royalties, because it's.
Absolutely.
Who's gonna call like Spotify themselves and be like, hey,
Exactly.
So it's good to have that in place, and definitely like definitely a good opportunity. Like I tell people all the time, like the stuff BeatStars is doing is a lot more than just selling beats. These are I think I have ideas, but then I see like the stuff you guys are doing. And I'm like, yeah, no, you guys are, this is the way, like, this is the infrastructure, I guess. I can't think of a better word.
Listen, if you have ideas though, bro, like you can text me them anytime.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Um,
you'll probably be like, stop texting me. Like, like
nah, man.
these are terrible ideas.
I'm gonna be like, who is this? Manny who? I don't know any Mannys.
This will never work. Lose my number. No.
Nah, bro. No, but basically, just so people have clarity on it, is that Manny, linked up with Sony ATV through BeatStars for his pub admin, and like you said, he's just getting started. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I think that's a huge accomplishment. On top of what he's done with just his whole brand and music in general, especially 12 a.m. in London, just doing ridiculous numbers as you saw. It's been a really messed up year on a lot of aspects. But I think there's a lot of cool things going on too that we should highlight like this. So yeah, we're proud of you, man. It's actually a pleasure to meet you and take a producer's beat that we hear, we love, and we see potential, and then we talk to you and you find out you're a cool, humble dude, and then you end up doing the pub admin thing, and you're a leader. You know what I mean? You're a leader for the BeatStars community, for the music community in general. I just think it just shows, again, it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter when you start. If you put the work in, you stay consistent, and you just make genuine good music, I think everybody has a shot. You know what I mean? So
right. I agree 100%. 100%. Thank you.
Yes, man. Question in the chat from Angel. You're right. We got to get that popping again. I'll look into it personally. Cool. Any questions for Manny? We got about 5 to 6 minutes left. But yeah, any questions coming in? Let's see who we got. Let's see. Ask your questions now, guys and girls. Let's see. Anything? Let me see if there's questions coming in during that I didn't ask. Let me see if I can go back and grab any of them. Some new ones come in. All right, so yeah, this is a good one from Cloud9. So what made you want to start doing Drake beats? You say you mainly only tag your Drake beats. Like, why? Is it just the sound you like, or like you said, the algorithm, you feel like it favored it? I know you kind of said that earlier, but is it a combination of things, or?
Yeah, it's a combination. Like, everyone likes Drake. He's one of the biggest artists in the world. But when I started, like uploading on YouTube, I did like Migos, bad impressions of like Cash Money AP, because I thought that's what people wanted to hear. I thought, no one wants to hear these, rapidy rap beats or like stuff like that. So that's what I did like to start with. And then the first beat that really ever got like any sort of traction or like, standing out from the rest it's not this 12 a.m., just another Drake type beat. And I was like, oh, okay. So I saw that. And then, yeah, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have other beats, not as of late, but the beats with the most views are all Drake type beats, and then one like Rick Ross. So they're all Drake. And I was like, all right, if that's the game, like I'll just play that game and only, upload Drake type beats. And I think it's also, there's something there that it's, I'm humble and I'm not trying to like, blow my own head up, but I feel like I do those better than the other ones, or not so much that I do it better, but I could try to make like the best Migos type beat, or Migos. I can't think of anyone else right now, or something else, like some kind of other like Trippie Redd or something like that. But I'm guaranteed there's someone else out there who does it better than me, and I just sort of found a niche where where I'm kind of comfortable. I know what Drake could rap on. I listen to a lot of Drake, so it comes easy to me that way. And it's so my point is, it's a combination of like, it was the ones that got the most views. It was the ones that, it got the most views, and it's also kind of what I enjoy making and what I, at the same time, I don't, I do feel kind of boxed into this Drake thing, but it is what it is. I can't have it both ways. I can't, you know.
You've carved out a
Yeah,
lane though in that Drake lane,
yeah,
man. And something. Let me add a third thing to the list of. Remember, I said the first two. The one is a lot of tracks. Two is consistency. Or no, what the two was great music. Excuse me. And then the third one is I do another show called The Road to 1 Million Streams, which I'm sure you're going to be on very soon. Basically, I talk to members who hit 1 million streams organically and about how they got there. And something they all had in common for the most part, I actually think all of them had this in common, was they all really honed in on something specific and just went in on it. So, like
right,
Wishmaster was beats with hooks. All he's doing is dropping beats with hooks.
right,
I think GC was like a lot of pop stuff and just certain elements that people recognize
yeah,
for. There's just, I think it's important that not necessarily perfect it, but you really love what you're doing and what you're going after and the music you're making, but also think about what the public wants from you and maybe just going
exactly.
it. So Dream Life Beats another one who I haven't had on the show yet, but he's a good friend of mine.
Shout out.
His is boom bap. So I mean, it's just like
Right.
he does other stuff. I'm not saying you have
Yeah,
to only do that, but I feel like sometimes it's easier to hone in on, okay, this is really what I love doing and I'm great at and what people give me the most feedback on. So let
yeah.
me just go in on this and then sprinkle in my other stuff here. It's just a thought. It's just something I've noticed from everybody I talk
Yeah.
to is having a lot of success. So
Just being aware. And so I'll tell you, it's kind of a funny story, right? Before I started YouTube thing like 2 years ago, a friend of mine I went to high school with. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I was chilling with him, hanging out with him, and he was asking me, "Yo, do you still make beats?" And this is now we're like 6, 7, 8 years removed from high school, right? He's like, "I
mhm.
remember, yeah, you made beats in high school. Do you still make beats?" And I gave him this roundabout answer of how I was like, because a lot of stuff I do too is like soulful, soul sampled, or like R&B sampled, and I was like, yo, like no one wants to hear these type of beats. Everyone's on this trap wave, like no one's trying to hear. I gave him all like these excuses why no one wanted to hear what I wanted to make, and it's just my point is it's just funny. I started doing what I thought other people wanted to make, and then I guess you just got to be like aware and like perceptive of like what the world is telling you, right? What other people I could think it's the best shit in the world if no one else does. It really doesn't matter, right? You just got to be like perceptive of, or I guess receptive of what what you put something out into the world, and then what it like what it says back in return, right? It could also work the way where you say, all right, I only want to do boom bap beats and this is it, but then you're just being stubborn, right? If other people don't want to hear your boom bap beats, maybe you try something else type thing, like it's a
Totally.
combination of all of that.
No, totally. Somebody just asked a good question. Actually, I'm curious too. I know I said it earlier. I've been in this music industry 15 plus years. No other income streams.
I think you're on mute, or maybe I can't hear you.
I hit it with my knuckle.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I
Okay.
can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what I was saying, we had a good question just come in that is an interesting question. I know I mentioned earlier that I've been in the industry for 15 plus years. It's my only income stream. It's my livelihood. It's my life. So with that said, is music your only income stream right now? People are asking that. If you don't want to tell, that's totally fine. I understand privacy, but if
Right.
you are open to answer it, feel free. If you have like a full-time job or
No, I'd say I've been fired from just about every job I've ever had. And this is, this is it's my full-time job right now. I wake up and I, get to emails, DMs, whatever people want me to listen to, make something like, it's my full-time job. I treat it as such. I mean, and I'm trying to grow this thing, so I could have other streams of income relating to music or in one way or the other, right? Like, it's right. So right now it is. I hope I don't have to get a job tomorrow or a month from now, 2 months from now, this thing dries up. You just never know. But right now, I do this full time, 7 days a week, 12, 13, 14 hours a day, because I'm trying to, I'm very happy with what I've done so far, but I'm really, trying to, grow this thing to new levels.
absolutely. We have somebody else in the chat asking. we're not going to answer this, but I'm just going to read it. How you probably say it. He's asking how much you make a month, and I don't think that's really like I don't go to people's jobs and ask to see their pay stub. So I mean, it's I don't think it's something that you need to hone in on because there's no magical number either, man. Like I'm gonna just be honest, we have members, and I'm not gonna name names, but you have members that make $50,000-$60,000 a month. You know, you have other members who make 30, 40 or 10 to 20 or 5 or even 500 or 250. It doesn't, I want to put a number on it, man. I would measure the success by him just saying this is his full-time job now. I would really hone in on what he talked about before this and how he's gotten to the point of where he's at now and doesn't have to work a job. And I also just think it's kind of weird to ask people how much money they make. So that's just my personal opinion.
It doesn't help anyone. Like it doesn't help anyone. Like I can tell you I make 50 million on BeatStars every month.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it doesn't add anything, I definitely don't. Definitely don't. But it doesn't. I don't think it helps anyone. It's just,
bro. If you made 50 million, we wouldn't.
I get it. It's people being. Oh yeah,
we'd be on an island somewhere, man. One more question, man, before we wrap this up. How often do you upload on BeatStars now? Like, what's your let's just say the last 3 months on average. What do you think your upload schedule's like?
You know, I try to do every day, but sometimes I miss a day, miss 2 days. But yeah, say on average every 2 days. Yeah, every 2 days. Actually, no, it's more like every day. It's like I have like these blips every once in a while, but it really is just about every day. And I'm not saying everyone should do try to do every day, because I know how hard it is to work on music when you have other shit to do in life, but I guess the idea is just like my goal or what I'm trying to do is just put out as much music as possible, as and as humanly possible. And I don't really have like an upload rate.
Would you say you're on average of about 20 to 30 beats per month? Is that safe to say? Somewhere between 20 and 30?
Yeah, somewhere between there, sure. Yeah.
That's a lot. I tell people shoot for 10. 10's a sweet spot. I feel like 10 is about 2 to 3 a week, depending on if you do 2 1 week, 3 the next week. But I think it's something that can be manageable. I think it's something that you could start off with doing 2 a week, even 8. But 10's a sweet spot. But dude, if 20 to 30 a month is working for you, do it.
Yeah.
Dude, we talked to Tunger Beats. The guy has 1,300 tracks up, man. 1,300 in 3 years. He uploads twice a day. I'm like,
it's crazy.
You're a machine.
So I see dudes like that, and that's where I'm like, yo, what am I doing? Like, what am I do if I try to do 1 a week? Like, how in the world do I think I'm gonna be able to keep up with, or even try to, with people like that? When I see them do it, right? And that's what motivates me to be like, all right, I gotta upload something tomorrow. I gotta upload something today. I gotta keep up.
That's the cool thing about the community, BeatStars community too, is the friendly competition. Like, you're not telling him you're in competition, but it's like you're seeing that it's not even competition. It's more like motivation. Like, oh shit, I gotta do this. So no, I think it's cool. Same guy who asked about how much money. So I can actually answer this last one. How do you make yourself indispensable so things don't dry up? That's my question. How to stay relevant. Listen, I'm gonna give you the most general advice, but it's worked for me for almost 20 years. In this industry, from doing all sorts of different things, man. Write this down, everybody.
Pen and paper.
Big advice. Ready? Make yourself valuable. Make yourself valuable. Okay. What that means to you, I don't know. You got to figure that out on your own. But what I'm telling you is, if you're valuable and you bring value to a job, to a relationship, to the BeatStars platform, to whatever it is, people are going to want you around, and you're going to stay relevant. And just do things out of love too, man, because karma's real, in my opinion. Do good business too. But if you're making yourself valuable, you're most likely not doing bad business. So make yourself valuable. What can you bring to a situation? Why would somebody want to be, part of your plan and part of your vibe and part of what you're trying to do? Bring value to any situation that you can. And I feel like that will really help you. And value can be a lot of different things. With Manny, I feel like the tracks he's putting out are valuable to artists. and that's what's keeping him relevant. And I'm confident he's going to continue to do stuff that's keeping him, in the mix. So, with that said, I know we went over a little over the show. It was a great conversation. Manny, let the people know where they can find you, your BeatStars, your Instagram, anything else you want to give out. If you got a MySpace or anything else. No, I'm joking. But yeah, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Instagram at Manny Manhattan Music. I don't post. I'm working on it. I'm gonna try to get better. But DMs, I reply to DMs, emails. Manny Manhattan Music at gmail.com. I make every effort to reply to everything. YouTube, Manny Manhattan Music. Twitter, Manny Manhattan _. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get better at it. Like it's still relatively new to me, social media, but email, to be honest, email is probably the best, like easiest to keep track of and keep track of emails. But yeah, and that's where you can find me. Everything's Manny Manhattan Music.
That's awesome. Let me take off this screen share. I forgot it was on this whole time.
Oh.
But no, man, thank you so much for your time. I know it was on a Sunday too, and I know the first show kind of got a little messed up. Like I was a little under the weather.
No.
It wasn't COVID, thank God. It's just crazy allergies that make me feel like I have COVID. But yeah, I appreciate you kind of rescheduling your time, man, and being patient. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the platform. That means a lot. Thank you.
No, dude, absolutely, man. We're gonna do some big things together, man. I'm excited for the future. Thank you to the chat, Bufo for always holding it down, Cloud9, everybody that I always see all the time. A lot of new people I haven't seen. Thank you for tuning in. Butter, thanks you too, man. Angel Ray, I see you. Hey, Pam, a lot of awesome people in here supporting SO. Thank you, guys and girls, as well. You guys make these chats and these conversations easier for me, easier for the guests. So thank you, guys. All right, well, everybody enjoy their Sunday, 4:00 here on the East Coast. About to do something. I don't know, but about to do something. Manny, enjoy your rest of your Sunday, bro.
You as well.
Everybody else, we'll check you guys out in the next 2 weeks. All right.
All right.